Welcome back to Screen Zen viewers. My name is Jason and we're going to get into the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 review. Stick around at the end while I give my recommendation. Directed by James Gunn, his last hurrah in the MCU. Most of you might know that he's actually going to Warner Brothers to head the new DCEU, and I will leave that card up in the top if you want to see my reaction to the news. This was Rocket's movie. Really everyone, but we hear so much about him since the first film. His evolution has always been in the back of everyone's mind. Where did he come from? Who made him? Who's his creator? Well, all of our questions were answered in this film, and maybe a few more. Being the last movie in this trilogy, many of the characters were able to wrap up their character arcs that we get from the first and second movie. This is really a mission to save Rocket. Some of the positives: the theme of creating family from people who aren't blood comes to a head in this movie. This film really tells everyone's story. From Star-Lord, depressed that he lost Gamora, realizes he has family on Earth that he's been running from ever since his mother died. And of course, Rocket's family, finding out who he is, what his purpose is, and finally accepting himself as being a raccoon. Even Mantis, who was used by Ego and also loyal to the Guardians, really wants to set out on her own and find her own way in the galaxy. Will Coulter, Adam Warlock, is new to everything. He's like a child. But this brings levity to a lot of these scenes. All these characters, they made room for. Rocket's flashbacks didn't interfere with the story, but was needed to tell the story. The comedy is just right, placed well, and I laughed the whole way through. And there were even touching moments that brought tears to my eyes. I thought that there were going to be a lot of unalived people, just based on the trailers, and knowing that even Dave Bautista playing Drax wanted out of the MCU. What's the easiest way to get you out? But you can see if I was right or wrong when you go see this movie. With the comedy and the action, there's a great balance. Something that Ant-Man Quantumania could have learned a thing or two from. The High Evolutionary, played by Chukwudi Iwuji, he did a great job as a villain. And you don't want to like him, which is a welcome change. His motivation to play God, and actually seeing the Guardians in the worlds or civilizations that the High Evolutionary has created or set up, got an understanding of the mission that he's going on and wanting to do. To get to his goal of making the perfect society, he's cruel. Changing and creating life forms is only a step for him to find the best one. Disregard the rest. The action was great. There's even a scene towards the third act where all the Guardians are in a hallway kind of fighting as a team and kind of bouncing off each other and helping each other out. You know, it felt like a video game. It reminded me of the Avengers. Very well done. Oh, and also, the music is awesome as always. Just what I would expect from a James Gunn film. Now, I really enjoyed this movie. If I had to give it a con, it would be the end credit scenes. I felt like it was a waste of time. Well, when you see it, you'll know what I mean. We get to see new Guardians, but then also it fell flat with the second one, which featured Star-Lord. I do recommend this film. This is one of the better MCU films that have come out of late. And we need a lot of good ones. Characters, finally seeing the backstories. Adam Warlock, who was in a cocoon for the last two movies, ending arcs, the Guardians each finding who they are, truly is a highlight and written perfectly. I'm almost sad to see James Gunn go, because I know how influential he is in the MCU, and he just does a great job. This is how it's supposed to be done. This movie is how it's supposed to be done. I'm gonna miss the quirkiness, the emotion that he brings to these comical characters that you just don't expect to feel that when you're watching something that makes you laugh. And I'm actually nervous to see what the future of the MCU will be without a James Gunn. Well, I highly recommend this. Go to the theaters and see this with people. It's fun. And if you can't get to the theater, stream it. Pay for it. I highly recommend this movie. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any new content. Leave a comment down below. Did you see this movie? What were your thoughts? What were some of your favorite scenes? And what do you think this means for the MCU now that James Gunn is not going to be involved any longer? Well, I hope to see you soon. See you.